Up. It was a bang bang play. I was just getting work in. It was an accident. But guys just flying around having fun, and I just happened to be in a crossfire. But yeah, man, took some time off. I got healthy. I'm out there with the guys now. I'm ready to roll. We're getting looking forward to going toward Baltimore. So yeah, I'll be ready to go for that one.
Fair to say 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that brace something you're going to have to continue to wear even during the game?
Yeah, start the season off. I probably will. It's probably something I could probably get rid of as the season progresses and how I feel with it. But yeah, probably start the season off. I'll probably have something on there just to protect it a little bit.
Does it limit your mobility at all?
Nah.
How much do you feel like you missed not playing in the preseason?
Yeah, man, I think the whole thing, man, training camp and preseason, just kind of getting out there and just going through my mechanics, I think that's kind of huge, especially preseason in our defense, a lot of communication and getting guys on the same page. And so, yeah, I definitely missed that aspect of it. I think I've done a great job of kind of just getting in where I can, making my calls, making my checks, and going through the mental part of the game, kind of get me prepared for week one. And so I'm going to continue to do that and stay a little bit late, talk to Spags a little bit on the side, and I talk to the guys that's been playing and learning from them as well as we go.
It kind of helped you that you kind of took a little bit of a step back to do those middle reps just to get good things?
Yeah, man, I didn't really want to. I did that all last year. I went through the mental part of it, but yeah, man, it helps a lot. Seeing, especially every year, our defense changes a little bit, and I'm just kind of seeing what Spags thinks, and then the guys we have, and figure out what they play best in and stuff like that. Yeah, it's definitely been good on the sideline.
You mentioned some changes. There's a few changes, you know, like Willie's gone, Jerry's gone, some guys there. We talked about this back in OTAs and stuff, but now it's like we're about a week away from the season. What do you feel about the group that you guys are going to put out there when the Ravens come to town?
Yeah, man, it's completely different than last year, man. But I think it's I mean, I think it's a good thing. I think we have our own identity. We got guys that are emerging as leaders. We got young guys that are stepping up. Throughout training camp, a lot of vet guys weren't in there. So we've relied on a lot of those young guys for communication, getting people lined up, and just playing off of each other. And it definitely helps that whenever we come back, guys like Jaden Hicks don't have to make all the calls and just go out there and play fast, and then use his instincts. So yeah, I think that's been huge. I think the young guys stepping up in the back path of camp and early in the preseason definitely helped us out, helped us grow a little bit, and made a better defense.
Heard you were in the treatment room yesterday when you heard a laugh.
Yeah.
It was a little familiar. Was that when you first realized that JuJu was coming back? And
yeah, I honestly didn't know that until that morning. I think he came in, he was finishing his physical or something like that, and I was just laying down, face down on the table, just getting some treatment on my elbow. I look up, I was like, man, this dude sounds familiar, man. It happened to be him, and I was like, man, it's crazy, man, full circle. But yeah, I think it's glad to be back in the building, man. We're happy to have him, a veteran guy that's been here, done that, and knows what to expect as we go throughout this whole season. So definitely happy to have him in the building.
You've had these little injuries you've had haven't really been season-ending, devastating injuries.
Yeah.
Frustration level with just these little things that are happening to you? Do you feel a little bit snake bit sometimes?
I think it's football, man. I think God's blessing me with 23 years healthy. Got two years, 1.5 years, whatever, of being dinged up. I think I'll take it in retrospect of things. But yeah, man, it's a little frustrating, man. But man, it's football. We all gonna go through it eventually. It's about just seeing how you can get to the other side of it, man, and just help your team win football games.
Nick, I know you don't try to think about it too much with everything that goes off the field, but Creed signing, Harrison signing, I know you're in line for one, you probably heard, but just how do you just make sure you maintain your focus on the football field, and knowing that sometimes if an injury happens, oh man, I might not be able to show myself or whatever. How are you dealing with all that?
Yeah, man, I think I went through that last year a little bit, and so now it's just about having fun, man. The snaps that you do get, making the best of them. You realize, again, I've been 23 years healthy, never been on the injury side of it, so you gain a little respect for how the game is played and how to play it. And yeah, man, I think just kind of take the good with the bad, man, just roll with the punches, just going out there executing the game plan, having fun, and getting up with my teammates, my brothers. I think that's what we live for. We all live for Sundays, and so, yeah, I mean, it's just a part of the game, and I deal with it, and I just keep going.
A couple more. All good?
All right.
Thanks,
Yep, thank you. Yep.
Here we are, huh?
Take us through how this happened and take us through the whole process.
Yeah, man. Obviously, I got released by New England, and pretty much just talking to teams and seeing what option felt best, and coming here was probably the best, for me and my career. So yeah.
Why was coming here best for you? Why do you feel like this is the best spot for you?
Just very familiar with the offense. Very familiar with Andy Reid, Pat, the guys. So just being in this facility, kind of makes your job a lot easier than going to somewhere new, where you kind of got to learn everything, pretty quickly. I think the hardest part for an offensive player is going to a new system and having to study a whole new playbook. Being in New England, I studied two offensive playbook, and then, being familiar with this playbook, yeah.
Do you feel like you could be ready to play next week?
It's too early to say. I just got the playbook, so it's some things has changed. So just taking it day by day, but you never know.
And you kept in touch with a lot of the guys that still played here, even during your time in New England, and then just making the transition back here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all these guys are my friends, so we always touch base here and there. Got to see him last year too when you guys came down to to Boston and played there. So yeah, I've always kept in touch with these guys.
When you did decide to leave, I think the Chiefs had some interest in retaining you. How much consideration did you give to just staying and not leaving to begin with?
Say that again?
How much consideration did you give to maybe staying with the Chiefs in the first place and leaving when you did make that decision?
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough decision. It was tough. A place like this is very special, and being able to play with these guys and the coaches here, it was a tough decision. But at the end of the day, I kind of needed to do something that I wanted to do, kind of branch off of myself and keep that going. And some things happen, so yeah.
It's very different than when you were here last time. Just how do you think you kind of fit into this offense now with the boosted receivers?
Yeah, man, this is a great offense. You have so many weapons now. Honestly, just happy and glad to be a part of this offense and be in it. But for me, like I said, just getting used to the playbook and just trying to see where I fit in. So whatever that may be, wherever coach wants to use me, I'm ready. Just happy to be in this room.
JuJu, why do you think it didn't work out in New England?
Man, it's I think it was I mean, it's a great organization. Being able to be coached by Bill was really awesome. I can say that. I was coached by one of the greatest head coaches of all time, which is great. But I think being there, it was those guys, a lot of weapons, a lot of weapons in that room, and I felt like we kind of just went our separate ways, and yeah.
You still feel like you're yourself? I mean, when you come back here, does that experience change you at all?
Yeah, for sure. Like this is a place you want to be. It's very special. Like you guys all know how it is here. So yeah, for sure feel that.
How much do you feel that you have left in the tank, if you will? Just going out there and giving the best that you possibly can. Maybe you try to match the numbers you had a couple years back.
Yeah. I mean, a lot in the tank. I don't know if I'll be able to match those numbers in a couple years back because, like I said, we got so many weapons. It's only one ball, right? In football, man, you got a running back, you got Kelsey, you got Pop, you have Worthy, you have Hollywood, you have Rashid, you have Sky, you have KT. There's so many guys, man, that you can, Miko. You have so many guys in this offense where you can do so many things. So, as for me, it's not so much about numbers. It's more about where I can, be used and fit. I wasn't here during training camp with these guys and, going through all that. So, like I said, being able to come back here and be familiar with the OC, head coach and Pat, it's kind of something that, it made my job a lot easier.
Let's go Vahe and then Sam, and then we'll go a couple more.
You've spoken about this a little bit, but that room of receivers, you know a couple of guys really well, but a couple that you haven't played with. What's your sense of the feeling of your fit in the group?
Man, I mean, you got speed, down the field, great hands. Me being able to watch, last year, me watching, Rice, Rashid, like, it's kind of position I played the years I was here. So it was very cool to see, how those guys used them in that way, in that form. So being able to just, see that and coming in and be a leader in that room, being a vet, in the room. So just being able to help those young guys out. so yesterday was my first practice and being able to see Worthy run. That was pretty impressive. He was just, like just floating across the field. So it's pretty cool that a guy like him who can open up the offense.
And what did Andy or Brett, what did they speak to you about? Sort of maybe how they think you'll fit in the mix. Anything in particular?
Not yet. I mean, it's still kind of early, right? It's only the second practice. Yesterday I got a few plays, and today I got a little bit more. So slowly getting in, that offensive role and just being pretty much, filling in those gaps. So it's as you guys all know, Andy. He loves, his weapons, and he has so many different things that he can do with so many different guys. So yeah.
JuJu, what was your Super Bowl watching experience like last year?
Oh man, it was awesome, man. It was really cool just because I know those guys personally, and being able to just see guys like Pop and Sky and all those guys go out there and get their second, third, fourth ring, right? So those guys are, it was awesome, right? A lot of people always ask me like, man, you could have stayed for the second one, but I think what I did and the decision I made was best for myself and my future and my for my family. So. I think God works in mysterious ways, and has brought me back to a place like this. So, yeah.
In the frame of working under Tomlin and Bill and Andy, these are three of the best coaches in the NFL. Just what's your takeaway in the sense of they're just in the idea of being different ways to get the job done?
Yeah, man, dude. So playing with Tomlin and Bill, like that, when it comes to defensive mindset, it's like those guys are like it's a heavy defensive package. Like they're gonna favor their defensive guys, and like you say, you talk about defense win championship, right? Like stopping offenses and stop putting up points on the board. But those guys are very unique when it comes to that. Also, I would say Mail's the same way. Even in training camp, like he kind of biased to the defensive team, so that was pretty cool. But being with an offensive-minded head coach, that's a totally different ball game. I think coming to a place like this and like being a receiver, being a tight end, there's so many opportunities for you to for you to get the ball. It's so focused heavily on offense, and putting up points, does make a difference. And a guy like Andy Reid, who's the mastermind, it's pretty cool what he can do. So, like I said, I think coming here wasn't a tough decision, just because I played here before, I've been here before. Yeah, the media here is pretty awesome. So you guys made my job easy.
We're gonna go Adam, Matt, and Todd.
I'm trying to remember, JuJu, did you come back after you won the Super Bowl here, did you come back for the ring ceremony and go to the White House?
I did.
To both of those?
Yeah.
Why was that? Was that important for you?
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, you talk about starting from training camp all the way down, all the way up until, the Super Bowl. It's a cool experience, right? I've always dreamed about, having the ring ceremony and then going to the White House and being able to meet Biden, and I think that was pretty cool. So I think that whole part of it was just part of the journey that I've always wanted to just do. I think it was pretty cool to see the guys go again this year and to be a part of that as well. And I think those moments you kind of cherish, right? Even when I was with the Patriots, they're like, oh man, you're going, you're leaving practice, you're gonna go see, ring ceremony and then go to the White House. I'm like, yeah, man, it's all part of the deal of, all the hard work and dedication you put in.
And you got to miss the practices.
Yeah. It was so it was cool seeing my old teammates again. So it was awesome.
Matt.
You mentioned your kind of first impressions of Worthy and Rasheed, but how well do you know Hollywood, and how do you kind of feel each other, either complimenting each other, or playing off each other?
Yeah. I mean, I know Hollywood pretty well. I mean, he's a guy that we're probably around the same year coming into the league, and he's a guy that's played with another great quarterback, right? He played with Lamar, he played with Kyler, so he understands that he's a guy who can stretch the field, who can play everything. I love his game, man. I think playing with him helps me, helps him, helps everybody on the team that just complements each other. And I'm happy that he's here. He's in a great system. I remember when he had signed, I think he had reached out to me, but he had signed, and I was like, bro, I'm so happy for you, bro. Like, man, you taking a one-year deal, going to a place where that's very special. That's something I was in the same situation where I needed to do a one-year deal. And, I came here and I played, and it helped me, with my career and, got me another contract, to play somewhere else. So for him, he's a guy that, he's a very special dude, and I'm happy that he's here to be a part of the team.
Pass one time.
You got number 9 in your chest. You got your number back. Was there negotiations for that? Or?
Yeah. There's no again. It's funny. Yeah, I got my number 9 back. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to get it back, but for somehow they made it happen, and yeah, I'm happy I got it back. Now I don't have to go buy my family all brand new numbers, and so it makes my job a lot easier.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.